Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special day. It is the last day in the 2020-2021 Homeschooling Show and Tell series that Jessica from the Waldock Way and I started at the beginning of this homeschooling year, but have no fear, we will be back again next year. I'm excited about that, so stay tuned this summer for some of the new topics and just exciting stuff that we have coming up. So if you are not familiar with the Homeschooling Show and Tell series, every single month Jessica and I share a topic, and everybody who is a homeschooler on YouTube is welcome to throw their links on the playlist of that topic as well throughout the entire month. We thought that this was a great way to share the homeschooling love with all of you. There are so many great homeschooling channels here on YouTube, and we wanted you guys to be able to discover new YouTubers and to also, for those of you who are YouTubers, share on the topic, especially when it comes to homeschooling, because I just think this is such a really neat community here online. So I think it's really great that we all really just want to share what we have on our hearts with one another and encourage one another. So that is where Jessica and my hearts were when we started this series, and I just love how well it's gone this year. I know we're both just really encouraged every single month by everyone's videos, and I'm super excited about doing this again next month. So today's topic is summer learning plans, and I'm very excited to go through this playlist myself because I would like a few more fun ideas in our own home. But if you want to see what we are doing this summer in our home school, then give this video a thumbs up and stick around. So for those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Abby and I homeschool 4 kids. They are 4, 7, almost 10, and 12. So we have preschool up through 6th grade this year. Obviously next year that'll be up through 7th grade. And we are year-round homeschoolers. So I share a lot of our homeschool lives here online, and then just some general mom lifestyle kind of stuff, food, meals, groceries, all that kind of stuff as well. So if you are new here and you like what you see, I would love to have you subscribe and stick around. You can subscribe down below, which I would really appreciate. I just love this community here online. So we are year-round homeschoolers, and that means that we don't take very long of a break in the summer, and as you'll see, it's not really even a break at all. It's just kind of like a shifting of priorities, and I love being a year-round homeschooler. I have 2 videos on that I can think of off the top of my head. I will link those up here if you want more info on how we do year-round homeschooling, but the quick overview is that there are 52 weeks in a year and usually about 36 weeks in a typical school year. I try to plan for 30 to 36 school weeks. So on the longer school year end, that would leave about 16 weeks left in the year that you can take however you'd like. I like to take 4 or 5 weeks in the winter. We like to go on a ski trip, just take some time for Christmas, take a couple weeks in January to refocus on the school year. And then I also like to take about 6 weeks in the summer, and then I'll sprinkle the additional weeks throughout the year. The additional weeks that I sprinkle throughout the year are the ones that we really take more off completely, like a whole week and we just go to the beach, or I just focus on our house and we don't do anything at home. The summer and winter weeks are just kind of like a shift, so really they could be like school as well, which, you know, when you're a homeschooler, it's just kind of your lifestyle, so it's really almost impossible to shut school off completely, especially when you see things like life skills and handcrafts as part of your education, because you're going to do those most often when you have breaks and you have more time to pursue those things. In the winter, we tend to do some kind of an Advent study or some Christmas around the world kind of stuff. So, I mean, most people I think would still consider that to be school. And in the summer, we take time to work on habits, some reading, some fun little summer challenges, getting out and exploring, doing some field trips, on-site learning, but we're not doing the daily grind of work. So while we take 6 weeks off of our typical school schedule, as you'll see when I share what I share, it's not really off of school anyway. I think that summer, you know, a 12-week long summer, everybody wants to still continue some kind of learning to stop the summer slide, which is a wise thing to do because 12 weeks is a long time to take off. So I just kind of saw summer as an opportunity to just continue with a couple things here and there so we don't backtrack too much, but then also just kind of shift priorities and enjoy some other things again, that most people would consider to be educational. So it's just my heart, my passion. I love history. I love spending time with my kids. I love discovering new things and enjoying new things with them. And so naturally, we still do that in the summer. So that's kind of my spiel on what summer looks like for us. This year, we are going to finish the end of May, and we are going to take June and a couple of weeks off in July. We might have like 7 weeks this year. I usually like 6, but we are going on one trip to a historical area, and we're gonna be spending a week there, and it is going to be like hands-on learning the entire time. And so I'm like, well, even though that's in smack dab in the middle of our summer, like that is gonna be like almost the most educational thing they did this entire year. So I have to count that as school. We're probably gonna do some fun learning on the front and back end of that trip as well. And so I was like, maybe I'll give myself 7 weeks so that I can add an extra week for me to get some school planning done for the next year. So that's the first thing we're doing this summer to continue learning, is we're going on a trip to a historical area in America. That's me saying it without exactly saying it, just so I can have internet safety, but I'm sure you know where we're going. I also like to do every single year, and I did this even before we were year-round homeschoolers, when we did take a long summer, I'd like to do some kind of reading challenge or summer learning packs. And so I will give them a printout on our first day of summer breakfast party that I do with them, and it'll have like, you know, math and read this many chapters and a couple of other little things that they can do throughout the week. And as they check those off, they earn stars or points. I've done it differently every year toward ice cream, and I like stock our garage freezer with popsicles and non-dairy ice cream bars, because that's our family now, and regular ice cream for my kids who can have it. And I just put tons and tons and tons of fun ice cream and frozen treats in there for them, and it's just so fun for them. So basically they earn one like every other day, and it's just so fun for them. They love it so much, and I love that too. So I will be putting together, I think what I'm gonna do this year is like little folders of work, and every time they finish one of those little folders, they can get an ice cream treat. So we'll have things like a certain number of math lessons. They can continue that over the summer. A couple of like things you can print out from Teachers Pay Teachers, like fix-it sentences and things like that. I just think it's a fun way to keep up with their schoolwork. Now, we do math all year round. We don't finish math by the end of the school year, so we leave a certain number of lessons left for them to complete over the summer. So I won't be pulling in any additional resources for math, but specifically like curriculum wise, but I did buy a bunch of fun math workbooks, and I will link that video up here as well. So I'll be including some of those worksheets in their folders as well. So point number one, I'm being very long-winded today, I apologize, is those learning packs and ice cream, which is gonna be portable, because we're gonna, you know, we have a family home in another state that we like to go to a couple times a year, and we'll be there a little bit this summer and stuff. So it's easy to just grab and go. Next, we are not doing a typical, we usually do a summer bucket list with all sorts of things we want to do. I've just learned since we become year-round homeschoolers that 6 weeks is not enough time to get like the 6,000 things done that they want to get done. And so I considered doing like a summer solstice bucket list, like going from the first day of summer until, you know, the first day of autumn. But like realistically, we're so focused on getting back into the swing of school in July and August that we wouldn't even get to that. So this year, we're gonna do a summer baking bucket list. My kids love to bake. All of my kids love to bake. I never give them the time to do it, maybe every couple of weeks in our enrichment days. But I thought it'd be fun to go through some cookbooks and find some of the really fun and, you know, time-consuming baking ideas and put those together, let them get on Pinterest, you know, all those silly fun things. And put together a baking bucket list, because that can be done when we're here, that can be done when we are, you know, out of state at the different houses that we're going to. And so I thought that that would be a fun one. My kids are each also pursuing something. They just started actually this month, so we're still technically in school, but I decided to allow it because we're almost done with the school year, and this will continue on through July. They're all pursuing something that they've wanted to do that I haven't been able to make the space for in our typical schedule. So my girls dance, my boys do karate and sports. And they all do violin or piano, and so our year is pretty filled. Not a lot of wiggle room for new experiences, but my older two just started surf lessons, and Eli just started golf lessons as well. And I think that, you know, we're gonna do them for the 3 months of typical, like May, June, July, and just see how it goes. I hope to not replace any of the things that they're doing right now with that, but we might be able to make some space for it somewhere, just depending on how much they enjoy it and how much interest is there. So I'm allowing them to do that, to have something different to learn this summer. So as you can see, like, that's still a whole, like, I would consider all of that to be something that I would put in a portfolio for a typical school year. So this is why I say we're year-round, because we just never really stop. I do use summertime to work on habits in a different form. So where we won't be doing morning basket and we won't be doing you know, typical, like, it's independent work time and it's family subjects time, we still maintain schedules. We'll have, like, you know, family breakfast time, we'll do devotionals instead of doing morning basket and things like that, just to maintain structure, but also to make sure that the kids are working on fine-tuning habits that we don't often get to really work on during the school year. For example, toward the end of the school year, working on their rooms becomes very, like, quick and sloppy and not their best effort. And so we'll use the 6 weeks of summer where during the school year, I wouldn't really be able to get them to go back and fix things because we need to get out the door for something. We will fine tune that because we will have more time in the mornings. And so we use the summer to work on habits. And also one habit that I really want to work on with the kids is their independent Bible study time. And I just can't figure out where to, like, really fit that in our schedule well without it being like a crammed, you know, like, you only have 20 minutes. And so I want to work on instilling that habit this summer with them and seeing where it fits best for each of them in their days. So we also, we live at the beach, and so we are at the beach or in the pool a lot. We're in the state of Florida, so it's like a lot of outside time in the morning, and then in the early afternoon, there's usually thunderstorms. I love that time for them to work on some silent reading, and also sometimes we will do documentaries. There's no better feeling for me than being like sun on your skin in the mornings and then being cozy inside during a storm. It's like my favorite thing in the world. And so I love taking them to pick out some books and just kind of getting them excited for that cozy time. It is like one of my favorite things ever about living in Florida is that you can predict that nice hot mornings, nice rainy afternoons, and I just love, like, gathering the kids up on the couch with blankets and watching a documentary or reading books together. So we will still be spending the afternoons reading or me doing some read-alouds with them. There are quite a few read-alouds we didn't get to this school year, and you'll see that during my curriculum week this year that specifically, I thought we were going to be getting into the civil rights movement time in our history, but we are still lingering on World War II, so we haven't quite gotten there yet. So I will be repeating some of those. I'll be sharing them again in the fall. We have so many World War II books to continue getting through, so hopefully through the summer we'll also have time to continue that read aloud time. And then this summer I also want to do something special with each child that I would consider to be educational. I mean, I'm talking like the zoo, the aquarium, the space center, but all of my kids have a lot of similar interests, but they all also have very different interests, and I wanted to spend a little bit of time with each of them. Like, Eli is loving STEM projects and building things, and so I thought I could take some time to do some stuff like that with him. So I want to do something with one day with each of my kids throughout the 7 weeks of summer, and I'm sure I'll be able to make the time for that. And so I'm super excited about that as well. So those are our summer learning plans as far as like being off of school academically and being on like a normal hour by hour school schedule. However, I do want to include the fact that we will restart mid-July, and it's still considered to be summer by like their dance studio or their violin teacher or our Awana program at church. And so that leaves a lot of space to roll into our academic subjects and kind of get routine down pat and get a lot of the book work done before all of that starts up again in late August, early September. And so we will, we will be starting with that mid to late July and kind of rolling back into a typical school year before the other programming starts back up at the end of the summer, early fall. So those are our summer learning plans. It sounds like a lot, but if you live in my house, it doesn't feel like a lot. It's just hard to, like write it all down and not make it sound like I've got some like jam-packed summer, but we're still gonna be doing some math for some fun rewards. We're still going to be spending some time reading together. We've got a couple of fun trips, some baking, things like that. So that is what we plan to do this summer to continue learning. Let me know in the comments down below. If you don't have a YouTube channel, let me know down below what you plan to continue doing this summer to promote literacy or math skills or whatever you plan to do this summer. And also, if you do have a YouTube channel, please link up with Jessica and I. I look forward to watching all of this month's videos very much. If you participated in the Homeschool Show and Tell this year, thank you so much for supporting Jessica and I in that, and I hope that you have enjoyed participating with your channels and look forward to some announcements about next year this summer. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.